Hello, this is Mr. Woodruff, and I'm here today to show you how to make a wheel. We're going to use this wheel hub that we made for our measurements for our wheel. The first thing we need to do is create a new part. And so I'm going to do a new sketch, and I'm going to use the circle tool. Okay, I'm going to start on the front plane, and I'm just going to make a circle. Now, the size of your wheel really depends on how big you want to make your wheels. I'm going to start by maybe making some back wheels. And I'm going to smart dimension this, hitting the S key and clicking smart dimension, or the sketch tab and hitting smart dimension. And I'm going to make this wheel 6 inches large. Okay. So now what I want to do is I want to put a hexagon in the center for my pencil to fit into. So I'm going to go back to the sketch tool and go to the polygon tool and make sure that it says under parameters that it's 6-sided. I'm going to start at the origin. And I'm just going to take this straight out. I'm going to look for that horizontal flag. I'm going to click the left click again to make the polygon. I'm going to hit escape and then go back to smart dimensions. And I'm going to zoom in, and I want to select the circle to define my polygon. And we've made these. So we used a specific size when we were making the 3D printed part for the wheel hub. This needs to be a separate size because we're going to cut it with the laser cutter, and so it needs to be a slightly different size. So because the laser cutter, when it creates holes that are 0.02 inches larger than what you put into the computer. Well, the diameter of the pencil is 0.265 of an inch. So what we need to do is we need to make this hexagon 0.245 of an inch. We have to subtract 0.02 of an inch. And I'm going to click OK on that. Okay, so now I have the hole for my pencil, or specifically a hexagon hole. So now I'm going to hit escape to get out of smart dimensions, and I'm going to extrude this. And I'm going to extrude this 0.2 of an inch, the general size of cardboard, although cardboard varies obviously in size and thickness. So, okay, so now I have my basic wheel, but I need the little holes for the wheel hub to fit, for the hardware to fit. So if I go back to this is my my wheel hub. And so let's look and see what we made these holes. So we made this hole 0.15, right? And we made from the center of the hole to the center of the hexagon is 0.65 of an inch. So let's go back to our wheel and finish up the wheel really quick. So I'm going to go to the sketch tool, and I'm going to start with the center line. So the little arrow next to the line tool, the center line tool, it's going to ask what face or plane we want to draw on. So I'm going to click on the front of the wheel. And I'm going to start from this midpoint, going straight through the origin, making a horizontal line to the other midpoint. Okay, so now I've got the center line that I can draw on. I'm going to hit escape, go back to the sketch tool and go to the circle tool, and I'm going to create a circle right on that center line. Right now, I'm going to escape in smart dimension. And what we need to do here is we need to make this hole smaller than we did in the bracket, again, because the laser cutter is going to cut out extra material. And what we found is for the hardware that we're using, if we use 0.125 of an inch, that seems to work pretty well. So I'm going to try that, 0.125 of an inch. Okay, and so there's going to be my hole. And then we just need to set the center of the hole to the origin, or the center of the hexagon. We need to make that point, I believe, 0.65 of an inch. Let's just go back and double check that in the bracket or in the wheel hub. Let's see. Yep, 0.65 of an inch. That stays the same because we're going center to center. So even though we change the diameter of both the hexagon and the circle, as long as the centers are the same distance apart, we should be good. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my wheel, and now let's cut that. So I'm going to go up to features, extruded cut, and I'm going to change blind on the left-hand side to through all, and green check mark, and I'm going to cut that. Okay, so now we have one of my holes. So now let's mirror this. So go to features, mirror, make sure that under features to mirror on the left-hand side, it says cut extrude. Again, if that's not there, we can come over to the right-hand side here to this feature tree in the drawing window, click the little down arrow, and find that hole, which is cut extrude 1. Click on that, and it comes into features to mirror. Now we need to select the mirror face plane. So I click that window to turn it blue, come back over to this feature tree, and I need to select the right plane. That should work. I don't know why that's not working. There we go, right plane. And so then you can see my preview of my new hole. I click the green check mark and there I have my wheel. And now that should fit really well in with my bracket. And so I'm just going to save this. I'm going to go to save as. I'm going to make sure that I'm in the right folder. So this PC, right? And then the student read write drive, and then the Mr. Woodruff folder, and then find your period folder and save it into your folder. I'm going to save this into, I think I've been using period 3, Mr. Woodruff 2, mousetrap cars, my mousetrap car. I'm going to save it in here, and I'm going to call this new wheel. Okay, and I'm going to save that as a SolidWorks part. Now to cut this out on the laser cutter, I need to save this as a DXF file. So I'm going to go to save as, and it should already now be in your folder. You can see that pathway up here, CHS student, Mr. Woodruff, period 3, Mr. Woodruff 2, mousetrap cars, my mousetrap car, right? Yours should look similar, but with your name after your period, excuse me. So I'm going to change this to what's called a DXF file, and I'm going to hit save. Now it's really important that you hit the green check mark up here in the upper right-hand corner. And what this is going to do is it's going to show you the DXF file. And if you have any extra lines in here, you can click on those lines and click remove entities. But this looks good. I'm going to hit save. And as long as it's in the shared drive, we should be able to cut it on the laser cutter. Now, if you want to go back and change your wheel size, that's really easy to do. What you're going to do is come over here to Boss Extrude 1 and click on Edit Sketch. And then right here, see, we can change the size of our wheel. Oh, look, I didn't even change, I did not make this 6 inches like I thought I did. So now I'm going to make this 6 inches, and boom, I changed the size of the wheel. Click the green check mark, click the exit up here in the upper left-hand corner, and my wheel has changed sizes. So apparently I didn't even save this as the right size of 6 inches. I saved it as like 4.99 inches, but you see how easy that is to change. You just have to find the feature and click Edit Sketch, and then go in and edit that sketch and exit back out. Now I need to resave this though, so I'm going to save this first as a SolidWorks file. I can just press save. The default is SolidWorks file, and then I'm going to hit save as, and I'm going to do the DXF file again. So DXF, save. It's going to ask me if I want to replace it. The answer is yes, right? Green check mark in the upper right-hand corner. I just check the DXF file, see if there's any extra lines. If there's not, I just hit save. So I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions.